flat 7.
And then we got
It's
All right, guys. Look up here for a second on the screen. I'll go over the first system. I'll go over the first system with you, and I'm also making a recording of this so you can review it at your own pace. Right. First of all, we are in A flat. It's good practice to write this here, and we'll do this when we go into Roman numerals. Okay. To write down the key as such. Okay. Good. The first chord is A flat, as we discussed. The next one, the chord tones are where? Where are the chord tones here?
D flat, G, and B flat.
D flat, G, and B flat. So this is the second beat of the 2/4. I have a D flat in the bass, E flat, and G that are sort of undulating in the right hand, and then also the B flat. Okay, so the whole chord. Right. Good. What kind of chord is that? First of all, is it a seventh or a triad? Seventh chord, because there's seven. There's 4 notes, a lot of numbers. Okay, and the chord itself is what?
E flat G.
7.
E flat 7 over D flat.
Over D flat. Okay, it's E flat 7 over D flat. Why? Because when you take a look at all the notes that are part of this chord, you have E flat, G, B flat, and D flat. If you stack them all into thirds, E flat is the bass. It is a dominant 7 chord because you have a major triad on the bottom and a minor 7 on top. Okay, so this is an E flat 7 chord. It is not in root position because the D flat, the 7th of the chord, is in the bass. Next, we have again the notes of an A flat major triad. Okay, but what's different here between this one and the very opening? Mark?
C is now in the bass.
C is now in the bass, which means that what inversion are we in?
What is it? 6, 4.
Which inversion is the first
First
inversion? Okay, so it's 6.
6.
Yeah. Okay, so A flat over C. I'm gonna make these tinier so that they fit. Okay. Next, I have the second beat here in the second bar. The notes are G from the bottom, and then on top in the right hand, I have E flat, B flat, and D flat. Same thing as before. It is also an E flat 7. It's also an E flat 7 chord. If you count the D flat, okay, as part of the chord that happens in this second beat. So there's 2 possible ways of analyzing this particular instance. One, you can say that this is again an E flat 7 chord over G this time. Okay. Okay. Or what's another thing you can say? Well, you can say that this is an E flat major triad, but the D flat is a passing tone. Right. So you could say something like this, right? Or you could say this is an E flat triad, okay? Because that's all we have here in the beginning of the second beat. And then what I could do is circle. We'll circle this D flat and call it a passing tone. Either way is fine. Okay, but they both explain what's going on. I had a few short conversations with you about this. First of all, it's in bass clef. I think everyone got that by now. Okay. Secondly, when you see music like this, okay, all the stems that are pointing up is equal to 1 voice. All the stems that are pointing down, another voice. Okay, that is to say, we're saving ink instead of writing 3 different staves. Okay, we're combining 2 staves into 1. Okay, into the right hand. So you can imagine, for example, all the notes that are pointing up, for example, here, or whatever it is, okay? That would be sort of like a flute, okay? And then all the notes that are pointing down, the 16th notes, okay, would be another instrument, etc. Okay, in the third bar, the harmonic rhythm changes from 2 chords per bar to 4 chords per bar.
Right.
Okay, so the first chord we have in the first beat, the notes are A flat, E flat, A flat, and C, which is an A flat major triad. Okay, and it's in root position, so no slash needed. Next, and of 1, what are the notes here from the bottom? You have G, and then what else?
B flat
B flat, yeah,
and E flat.
E flat, and then also, yeah, 2 E flats. Okay, so the chord here is E flat, again, an E flat over G. Okay, so far we're just using 1 and 5. Okay, we're in A flat major, so we're just moving between 1 and 5. A flat, E flat, A flat, E flat, etc. Next, the beat 2 of bar 3, beat 2, right here. I have an F minor triad. Right? I have F, C, this guy on all the way up top. It has 3 ledger lines. Okay, not 2, 3. Okay, 1 ledger line, 2 ledger lines, 3 ledger lines. So it's an A flat. It's a high A flat. So all the notes that the pitch content, okay, of all of those notes point to an F minor triad. F, A flat, C. If you stack them all together, F is the root. Right. So what's the symbol for F minor? F min or F minus.
Right.
Okay. It's in root position, so no need for a slash. Next, I have our first accidental. So the notes here, I have F, D natural, A flat, and 2 A flats. Okay, F, D natural, and A flat. Okay, so what are some ways to explain this chord? Oh, sorry, F, B natural, A flat, and then also this is a B flat, right? D, F, D, E, F, G, A, B flat. Yep. So B flat, D natural, A flat, and F. So what are the notes of this chord? How does this point to? B flat 7, Kevin says. Okay, so it's a B flat. What kind of 7 chord is this? Is it a half diminished 7? Is it a dominant 7? Right? It has a triad, B flat, D, F, okay, and a minor 7. So it's a very prominent dominant 7. So the symbol for dominant 7, as we did before, is just the number 7. Right? So I'm going to write B flat 7 over F. This is second inversion. Not thinking about secondary dominance yet. Okay, so moving on to the end here of the first system. I've got the first chord back to B, E flat. Okay, simply, and no inversions. Okay, and then I've got pretty much the whole sort of ending here. Being E flat, G, and B flat. Now, there is this weird little note here, right? If you think about this instance, I have an at the and of 2, I have an E flat in the bass, I have an E natural in the soprano, okay, and then I have G and B flat. Right? So how do I explain this? Yeah.
Explain it as a passing tone.
Okay, between what note and what note?
It is the E flat and the F.
Okay, between this E flat and all the way to this F. Okay, good. So that's one way to explain it, and then you don't have to think about it as, you don't have to sort of rack your brain and say like, well, I don't know what kind of chord has both E flat and E natural. In fact, it's just a passing tone. Right? So I can then label this as a passing tone. I'll change it to the same color as before. So it's passing tone and also passing tone. Okay, with this as a guide here, I'll zoom out here. Okay, do the next task here with your partner. Okay, make sure you have all these lead sheet symbols on top. Next, I'd like you to write down Roman numerals. Okay, using the information we've got from the lead sheet symbols, use Roman numerals underneath. Okay, and write out Roman numerals that correspond. So we're back. The Roman numeral for the first chord, of course, would be 1. Text. I'm gonna put 1. And
The second will be
Might change the color here to something more pleasant. Okay, 1. Okay, the second one, 5-4-2. Okay, because it's a dominant 7th chord. Okay, with a 7th in the bass. Okay. Next, what's the Roman numeral for the next one? 1-6. You'll hear that this is a very, very common progression. Okay. It in fact has to do with the bass line. The bass line goes like this. Okay, and the whole thing goes. Okay. 1-4-2, by virtue of being it having a 7th in the bass, will always resolve, because the 7th always resolves down to the first inversion. Okay, so you'll see that very, very often. Okay, so 1-6. Next we have 5-6-5 or 5-6 with a passing tone. Okay, so since I've analyzed the D flat as a passing tone here, I'm just going to say 5-6 and go with that. But of course, if you analyze the D flat as part of the chord, you can also say 5-6-5. Okay. Now again, the chords are happening once every half a beat. Okay. The first chord is 1. Next chord 5-6. Okay. Next we have F minor, which is what? 6. Little 6. By the way, when you're writing this out, again, if it's uppercase Roman numeral, please write the horizontal line so you can be sure of what's going on. Right. Finally, we have B flat 7 over F. What kind of chord is this?
Is that the 4 of 6?
We're only talking about 5 of something.
Oh.
Okay. If we're talking about of something, secondary dominant. Only talking about 5.
Also secondary dominant chord.
Secondary dominant. Okay. So what is it? It's 5-7 of what? 5-4-3 of 5. Excellent. Excellent. Right.
Yeah.
Why?
5-4-3 of 5.
Okay. Why 5-4-3 of 5?
Because the F is in the lowest.
Okay. If it's in root position, it's 5-7 of 5. Okay. So let's start with that. If it's root position, I would have a B flat 7 chord with B flat in the bass. Okay. B flat, D, F, A flat. It's not in root position. It has F in the bass, so then it has second inversion, which is why I wrote 5-4-3 of 5. Also note that when you're writing the inversion numbers, you write them next to the Roman numeral that it is. Okay. The of 5 really just tells me what is secondary to. Okay. But the inversion really has to do with the chord itself. Also, yes, I'm writing 43, but just pretend that the 4 is on top and 3 at the bottom. Okay. Finally, we resolve this 5-4-3 of 5 very logically to 5. Okay. I mean 2-5. T-O.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Move on to see if you can write the lead cheat symbols for the rest of this if you haven't already. Then also write the Roman numerals as well. I'll just show you what we're looking at for the first 2 chords. Okay. And then we'll go from there. The first chord is particularly interesting. Right, come back here for a second. Come back. The first chord, okay, the jazz lead cheat symbol would have to include all of these notes. The notes are D flat, G, B flat, and F. Right? If you stack them onto thirds, the root is G. Okay? It cannot be a minor chord. It cannot be a minor 7th chord. It cannot be a dominant 7th chord because the notes are G, B flat, D flat, and F. So you have G, B flat, D flat, and F. It's a half diminished triad with D flat in the bass. Okay, so you can say it as G half diminished 7, okay, over D flat. The next chord, okay, it's a little simpler, which is just E flat, G, B flat, and the D flat in the bass. Okay. And this would just be a regular 5-7, but not 7. It would be a 5-4-2, right? And we can talk about the non-chord tones for a second, but the important thing here is to remember the first chord, okay? This chord, right? Okay, has to do with it as a half diminished sound. Okay, so from the beginning again. Passing tone or a 7. Okay, and then you have. That's your secondary dominant, and then it's passing chromatic passing tone, half diminished. Sorry. Okay, right there from the G to the B flat. Okay. Yeah.
What level on musician were
For what? To drill what?
the major minor chords and
Sure.
yeah.
The major minor chords on musician, you can look at chords. There's a chords level, right? From level 0, level 1, 2, 3. If you have trouble identifying notes, okay, and identifying chords quickly, okay, I really again urge you to use musician, okay, to just work on this even 5 minutes a day, right? Will help you sort of re-up your memory. But just to wrap up really quickly, it's what we've done today. Again, hopefully this is clear. We started with looking at just lead sheet symbols, which is coming back to the things that we know about. Okay? We're just looking for chord content. Then we're looking at the Roman numerals in terms of secondary dominant. Okay? We'll pick this back up on Wednesday. If you have any questions about your composition project that's due on Wednesday, the redo, let me know. Okay? Otherwise, I look forward to seeing the revised or the new pieces. Okay? And we'll go
Don't
from
be
there.
excited.
All right. Oh, I am. Good job. Good job.
I also need to like what I
So you can do it again.
Can I just submit another one?
Yeah. No, I'll create the latest one.
Yeah. Okay. Mark,